glad you're here. This isn't a gear channel, and I'm not going to tell you what lens to buy, and you're not going to hear me talk about megapixels. This isn't a gear channel, and I'm not going to tell you what lens to buy, and you're not going to hear me talk about megapixels. Okay? This is about seeing. Are you a photographer? A visual artist? Then this channel will help you learn to see. What makes one image stay with you and another one just fade away? What gives a photo weight and makes it hit? That's what we're doing here. Too many photographers chase perfection and forget intention. They're overwhelmed by gear, intimidated by editing tools, boxed in by client expectations. So they play it safe. They shoot what's expected, and then they wonder why it doesn't feel like art. Art, with a capital A. Or with a small a, if you prefer. Visual authority cuts through all of that. Not with rules and not with templates, okay? But with clarity. Each episode, I'll take a single element, contrast, distance, tone, balance, and we'll break it down. Not with charts, bullet points, and PowerPoints, and calculus, and lens diagrams, just with images. Found images, famous ones, and maybe some of my own. You might be asking, how can you tell a good image from a not so good image or a bad image? Well, because as Vonnegut wrote about artists, look at a million paintings and then you can never be mistaken. You don't need permission and you don't need the newest gear. You just need to train your eye. And that's what we're doing here. You might be a beginner, or maybe you're a prosumer or an intermediate visual artist, or maybe you've been doing this for longer than it takes to get a PhD, but you still feel like an imposter muddling through. All right, you've got folders full of work, maybe even praise from others, but you don't always feel like an artist. Maybe that's because you see behind the curtain. What looks like mystique to others feels like just another snapshot from a walk to you. What looks like bold abstraction is to you just a paint splatter and a lucky moment of color balance. You see the scaffolding behind the cowboy town facade. You remember the indecision before the shutter, the edits that didn't land, and by the time a piece is finished, if it ever feels finished, you're already too close to see what it really is. This channel is here to shift that, to give you criteria for appreciating great work, including your own, to give you tools for planning ahead or responding in the moment, to give you language for your visual choices, even the ones that feel instinctive, to help you slip more naturally into strong compositions, to teach you how to shape your images at the capture stage, not just salvage them in post. Whether you're shooting a busy street, a concert, a first kiss, or a quiet moment between strangers, you'll see more clearly what you're doing and why it works. And that will build confidence. Not hype, not likes, not a follower count, but real earned confidence in your ability to make a visual decision and stand by it. Confidence dispels imposter syndrome at every level. And that confidence, it sets you free. Free to experiment. Free to develop a personal style, even one that hasn't been validated yet. Because you don't need permission to be an artist. Social proof is nice, but it's not the source. The source is you. and the craft you commit to. This channel exists to give you a strong foundation, a well-rounded base from which to evolve, to explore, and to liberate your artistry. This is Visual Authority. Stick with me and you'll learn to shoot with intent, edit with purpose, and most importantly, see like an artist. I'm Frank Roy, photographer and Photoshop artist. Welcome to Frame Republic. This is episode 0. Let's begin.